You know, drinking and driving. I remember years ago in Montreal, me and two buddies were in my car and we were cruising St. Catherine Street downtown. And there was a policeman up ahead. St. Catherine Street was gridlocked because everybody was sitting there in their cars watching the pretty girls on the sidewalk. And naturally, when you're watching pretty girls, you like to have a beer. So we had beers going. We were each drinking beers, and we had a nice big 2-4 on the back seat. A 2-4 is a case of 24 beers, if you're not familiar with the terminology. So we were drinking beers and in my car and watching the pretty girls on the sidewalk. And the policeman up ahead saw my car, and since everything was gridlocked, he walked through the intersection and came back to me. And I rolled the window down. He asked me, did I know that I had one of my headlights burnt out? I said, well, no, officer, I was not aware of that. He says, well, you know, I'm going to have to write you a 48-hour warning. Okay. So he wrote me a 48-hour warning, and as he was handing it to me, he said, you know, the case of beer on the back seat, can you put it in the trunk, please? That was the end of that. A few years later, well, about 8 years later, I moved to Victoria and I went drinking with a friend of mine. And we ended up at his place and we drank. And I fell asleep at his place, and then at about 4 in the morning I woke up and proceeded to drive home. I got stopped. The policeman asked me, is this your car? I said, yeah, it's my car. Here's the paperwork for it. And then he says, you know, you look kind of tired. I said, well, it is 4 in the morning. What do you think? They say, well, can you blow into this little thing here? Breathalyzer. Okay, fine. I blew into it. I blew right into it. And he asked me, well, where are you going? I said, I'm going home, just up the road over there. He says, well, go on, go home. I don't want to see you again tonight. Fine, good. Now, just last week, I had a customer, excuse me, my throat's kind of dry. I had a customer in this car. She was sitting right back there. And we went through a police roadblock. Now, usually a police roadblock, the policeman will wave a taxi right through. Because we're doing a job here. We're actually keeping drunks off the streets for them, you know. Well, this one here, I guess, was a rookie cop or whatever, and maybe she thought she had something to prove, but she put her hand out in front of me like this. Stop. I rolled down my window. Now, as you roll down your window, they ask you, have you had anything to drink this evening? And then she was leaning into the car to smell my breath. So what did I do? I went right into her face and went, ha! Like that. Just gave her a good, ha! Good breath. And she said, you should not have done that. I said, well, too late. Goodbye. And drove away. I just felt I had to share that with you.